Okay, the Mondeo. This car's been with us for quite some time now. Now let's start with the basics. The Rearview Vision is very, very good. It's not obstructed by the headrests to a great degree. The side mirrors are long and the vision's pretty good. Good height too, they're not too far, not too near to the driver, so that's all okay. You can definitely see where you've been, no problem. Instrument cluster, not obstructed by the steering wheel, very clear. Dials, they're all very legible, there's no problems assimilating information. It's a different story. What we have here are the heat control and the fan control, etc, etc. I've driven enough cars now to know by default that the best controls for driving and being able to adjust the heating are the twist dials, the turn dials, like you have on a volume control of a stereo. You don't need to physically take your eyes off the road to adjust the heating then. Hot and cold, left, right, fast or slow, left, right. Simple, no messing about. Here, you've got to find the button, which you can't distinguish from really when you're driving along. It just doesn't work. The Audis have it, some of the BMs have it. Go back to old school. Now, stereo down here, center console, 5-speed gearbox. Shame, could do with a 6th gear on this car. Now, the steering on this vehicle, give it a bit of a wiggle test. Well, forgetting about the steering for a moment, the car's quite stable actually, it doesn't boat around too much, there's not a lot of roll there, but the steering, I mean look at this, I'm going along now 50 miles an hour, I can move the steering wheel all that distance before the wheels begin to engage and follow, and the car hasn't done 100,000 miles, so that's not good, but you'd be amazed how many cars are like that. So if you're thinking about buying one of these, it's going to be second hand. Check out that steering here, because okay, you might think it's a few steering bushes on link rods, but it might be a steering box. That's a messy job. Now the actual engine itself, I think, is quite impressive, because you don't really hear it. It's quite well insulated. The only noise I'm really feeling and sensing is the under the floor pan, so it's a bit thin on insulation there. But I'm more aware of other people's engines going past than of this one, so I raise my hat to them there. The build quality is not that bad, to be fair. You do get good and bad plastic. It's a bit on the same level as a Nissan is on the interior, and as for the furnishing or the upholstery on the chair, well, it just basically reminds me of office furniture. It's very bland. There's nothing about this that would inspire finesse or fashion or style. It really is a very bland car. Not too bad on the corners, but the roads are dry. I wouldn't like to be chucking this around in the rain. Be a lot of understeer and a lot of wheel spinning, to be fair. Driving position's good. You know, this is like the Ford Fiesta, and it's like a Vauxhall. You pay for what you get, basically. It's a no frills package. It's a bare bones deal. It's a car reasonably spacious, 4 wheels and a steering wheel and an engine and some lights on it. That's it. You get nothing more with these cars, so don't expect anything more. The only thing I will add to this car, which is a positive, is it's quite nice to drive. It's just I find it very noisy in this cab. There's so much noise coming from underneath the car. It sort of diminishes the driving pleasure. But to be fair, it does do what it says on the tin, this car, so I can't really overwhelm it with negatives and invalidate the car, but it just isn't a quality car, and it reminds you of it every time you drive it.